Hey everyone, welcome to my driveway. Pretty nice day outside, so I thought we'd do some math out here. Got some sidewalk chalk, got some equations ready to go. These are the logarithm equations that we were talking about just the other day. So, if you have an equation where the variable is in the exponent, what you need to do is you need to isolate that base, and then you can use a logarithm to rewrite the equation in a format you can solve. So, right here, the very first one, I've got 20 times 4 raised to the power of x equals 640. So what I'm going to do first is I got to isolate that exponential term. So that 4 raised to the power of x needs to get by itself. So that 20, I cannot just multiply 20 times 4. Order of operations says that that 4 has to get raised to the power of x before I can multiply. So first thing I've got to do is divide away that 20. So we'll divide both sides by 20. Okay, divide both sides by 20, and now what I'll have is 4 raised to that power of x equals 640 divided by 20 is 32. Okay, so now I have the base term, the exponential term, all by itself. So now the next thing that I want to do is rewrite the equation in logarithmic form. So what I'm going to do is rewrite. Now remember, log base b of a equals x. 4 to the power of x equals 32. So that means this 4 is going to be the base. So we'll have log base 4. Okay, now the answer over here, that 32, becomes the argument of the logarithm. And then that x, that exponent, that's the answer. So what we have now is log base 4 of 32 equals x. So at this point, we go to the calculator, we do log base 4 of 32 equals x, and what we end up with is x equals 2.5. And there we go. That's the first one. Okay, now we have a slightly more complex one over here. It's not that bad, but there's a little bit more involved. Okay, now the good thing is on this one, this exponential term is already by itself. 6 to the power of x squared minus 2 equals 48. So I don't have to do that first step where I divide both sides by 20. I don't have to do that here. What I do have to do is rewrite this in logarithmic form. So the 6 becomes the base, the 48 becomes the argument of the logarithm, and x squared minus 2 becomes the answer. So I have log base 6 of 48 equals x squared minus 2. Okay, now at this point what we're going to do is try to solve for that x. So we've got this log base 6 of 48. Now guys, this part right here, log base 6 of 48, that's a number. Okay, it's a decimal. It's a pretty ugly decimal to work with, but it's just a number. So I'm going to treat it like a number. I'm going to leave it in this format, but it's just a constant. Okay, but now I want to solve for that x. So the next move is to add 2 to both sides. Okay, we're just doing some regular old algebra here. Now that adding 2, it's not going to add to the 48. It's not going to add to the 6. That log base 6 of 48 is one big number, so we're not messing with any part of it. Okay, so the next line, we'll have 2 plus log base 6 of 48 equals x squared. Now, I want that x all the way by itself. It's close, but not quite. So what I need to do now is take the square root on each side. So I need to take the square root of the whole left side. Now, on the right side, that's easy. The squared and the square root are going to cancel out, and I'll just have x. Now, on the left side, we need to take the square root of that huge expression. So when we go to the calculator and we type it in, we've got to be a little bit careful. We press the square root button, it's probably going to open up a set of parentheses for us. We need to remember to close that set of parentheses in the right spot. So I just type in this stuff right here. 2 plus, use your log base, make it log base 6 of 48, close that set of parentheses. Okay? Then we just go to the calculator, we type that in, and we'll get about 2.040. Okay, now I'll do a couple more examples for you later. There's a few more examples that are on the notes page that you guys have uploaded into your notebook, but these are 2 of them right here worked out for you. Okay? Now, as always, guys, if you have any questions, get me through email or use the chat feature in Teams. One way or another, make sure you get your questions answered. Good luck, guys.